Sky Blue Fans TV. For the fans, by the fans.
Well, good evening. Welcome to Sky Blue Fans TV. Yes, you're surprised. Ken's meant to be here, but he's not here. He's been tied up at a disco at a christening, so he ain't able to make it tonight. But I'm in the hot seat, and boy, oh boy, has it been hotting up already. We've been getting comments on the channel half an hour before the show started. So it's going to be one of those nights, isn't it? It really is going to be one of those nights. But there's a couple of us in charge this evening. So this is going to be very, very entertaining, I think, especially with the comments that have been coming in. But let's get some housekeeping out of the way. Please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe, please, on YouTube. That'd be much appreciated. You can check out loads of different content on there. We've got the Dave Body interview. That's on there at the moment. You've also got the Cloudos out. Well, if you want to go over to our channel, it'd be brilliant. And loads of shorts as well. We've got a load of clips out there for you. Also, don't forget, if you need any coach travel for Leeds or any other away game, please head over to ccfctravel.co.uk. You can get your coach tickets on there with Big Travel. And also you can book car parking as well. So if you're driving up to Leeds or you're driving to the home games and you need parking, head over to their website. You can get your old parking on there as well, which is absolutely superb. Now, let's get our guests in then, shall we? Right, let's get Claudio in. Good evening, Claudio. He's moved. Where you gone?
I'll get me on football. When football was great. Look at this football. Look at it. Look at how old that is. It's a shame Ken in here. I reckon Ken used to play with this. The state of that.
Oh, blimey. Luke's cracking up.
Football was great.
When football was great. Blimey. You see Arsenal park the bus?
You know what? I was watching that, and I thought, if that was us doing that, we'd get pelters, wouldn't we? You know, yeah. I felt sorry for him in the end because I mean, yeah. But
I did. I thought it was great. Well, Serves them right for parking the bus. Come on, have a word with yourselves. You can't go to Man City and park the bus. No chance. Right, let's get him in. He hasn't been on for a while, but he's part of the team half the time because he's really good and he goes on other stations for us when we're all too busy. And he's a great lad. He works at Birmingham Airport. Where's Claudio? Oh, there he is. What are you doing, Claudio? Stop pressing buttons. He works at Birmingham Airport. He gets to all the games whenever he can get there. He's a great lad. We've started DJing together. We're going out on the road. Absolutely brilliant. And he is just a superstar. Good evening, Luke.
Evening, Miles. Evening, Claudio. All right.
Evening.
Yeah, good, thanks.
How are you feeling? All right? I bet you're a bit knackered, aren't you? You were DJing last night and everything?
Yeah, finished yesterday morning for a night shift. And then the game, picked the car up, went to the game, then onto the DJ. Today's just rest day. Back in work tomorrow.
Oh, blimey. I don't know how you do it. I had a rare Saturday night off last night. So I was pleased with that because I'm fully booked for the next 4 weeks or 5 weeks, whatever it is, the run up to me trip away. So it's just going to be mental. Right then. So we're going to have a little bit of a show, slightly different tonight. First of all, there's a couple of things I want to bring up on the screen. Then we're going to go straight to comments. And we're just going to crack on with it, I think, tonight, because it's just going to be one mental one. Now, have any of you guys had this email today? Paul Cuttyford sent me this earlier on. Dear Paul, thank you for joining Coventry City Building Society Arena yesterday. Please, can you take time to fill out a survey? Has anyone had that email? Have you had that email, guys?
Yeah, I've had it.
Have you?
Yeah, I've had it.
Oh,
I haven't had it.
No, I've not.
I thought of all the days to send it after yesterday.
That's what I thought when Paul sent it me. I mean, what on earth? Really? They're sending that out a day after we got defeated?
Well, I've got a suggestion for them.
Go on, what?
No.
that new stand, the south stand.
Yeah,
it's terrible. I mean, the all standing's good. I love it, but you're just away from everyone else. They could have put some stairs. I don't know. They could have joined it on at the stairs midway. I mean, it takes a lot of building work, but I mean, the inside is poor. You go into the main east stand, the inside's got posters, some original pictures, some old school pictures. In our stand, in that new bit, they've got a couple of decorative things around the columns, and then a crumpled old poster inside a frame saying Sky Blue End, welcome to the Sky Blues End. And it's they hardly open all the bars. You got no chance of getting a drink, and they haven't thought about that at all. I'm in there at the minute.
You said you can't walk across, didn't you?
No, you can't, because from blocks, I'm in block 12. So from 12 onwards, they've got that original steel bar there, and they lined it with stewards. You could climb over it, but the stewards won't let you have it. And then I mean, I love the standing, but I had a conversation with my friend earlier, because that's where we are. And I'm in there with my uncle, and he's struggling with his health getting up the stairs. It's 2 flights of stairs before you even get up, which we should have known. Look at it from the outside, it's different height. But there's just nothing in there. And it's still, I mean, the bar in there, they still call it Home Away from Home. That's an away bar name. We are at home. You know, we're not away from home. We are home. They just haven't done anything. They've just opened it up, and that's it. Will it change the next season after? It's down to Ashley, I suppose, isn't it? Because it's his ground. But I'm prepared to leave. I'll just we're looking moving. I don't care where I sit now. I need to be back in with like everyone else. I miss being in the East Stand in the concourse.
Yeah, because you got all that concourse. It's a lot better, isn't it, really, at the end of the day? If anyone else watching tonight, they have the same issue, let us know, because it'd be great to get that conversation going. Now, did you see this person at the ground yesterday? Swansea fan took a dog with her, bless her. I'd love to take the dogs with me. That's brilliant. Absolutely love it. Look at that little doggy at the game. And then Claudia, you've
brought some 3 dogs with them.
Claudia, you've been a bit of a celebrity today on Facebook. Neil Jakes is like really got you on there, isn't he?
Yeah.
It really looks like him as well, doesn't it? It's Claudio, isn't it? That is Claudio.
What really grinds my gears.
Really brilliant. Oh.
That's it. The internet's won for the year, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's definitely one for the year. Definitely. I'll tell you what, though. You know what's disappointing about yesterday is that we had a great crowd. It was 26,373, which was a fantastic crowd, especially after the Spurs game. You know, to have to pay 30 odd quid a ticket each time. But obviously you got all the season ticket holders there yesterday as well. But I mean, that's a great turnout for a poor performance, but we'll get onto that very soon. And keeping the comedy going, well, you know, Neil and Jack go to most away games together. Jack put something on the scoreboard for me yesterday. And it ain't even my birthday, so I don't even know how he got away with it. Because Stuart, who does the scoreboard, knows me, and he should know it's not my birthday because he came to me 50th last year. He put out, "Happy birthday, Miles Cannon. Enjoy retirement in Jamaica in your leopard print budgie smugglers." I was like, what on earth? How on earth is it? Oh, man, seriously.
You have to get a photo now with some leopard print budgie smugglers on the beach in Jamaica.
I know. I'm going to have to buy some just for the crack and I, just to put, and I have to put a pair of socks down them. Right, shall we get on with the show? Come on, properly. Let's do this properly. Let's go straight in with the comments. Claudio, you all right to click on, mate?
Yeah, I should be.
Here we go then. Come on, let's have it.
All right. We'll read these out and we'll talk about them, I think. Dave McGee, players used out of position, lack of aggression, easily bullied. MB needs to start Alex Ferguson hairdryer treatment. Paul Cuttiford says, So here we go. Training staff leaving, replacements poor quality. MR left up the creek. DK not paying the wages for the players he says he wants. Palmer O'Hare, Hamer should never been sold. Follow that with DK has put his nose into too much, saying we are going after promotion with as much speed as we can buy players from lower leagues. And when quality players come on the market, he won't pay the wages. Lee is always positive. I have to say that about Lee.
Good evening, Lee.
Played well against Watford. Evening, Lee. We played well against Watford and Spurs, and not many were moaning then, were they? Yet, as soon as we have a poor first half, some fickle fans throw their dollies out. Stop slagging the players, MR and DK, because they're the best thing to happen to the city for a very long time. Look where we were a few years ago. League Two, no stadium, few fans. Now look, well, will come good. Paul says. He replies and says, I agree, Lee Dan, but let's hope it don't go to DK head and we mess it up big time. And then Lee, there's loads of messages. MR got it wrong Saturday by his own admission. He should have changed the team. I know we're close to going on a long unbeaten streak. He's had a drink. The signs are there. We're only 6 games in. Let's see in 10 games. James Hollyoak, but this poor form has been going on since we lost to Man United. It's not just the last 6 games. Got an evening, guys, from Mick Davenport.
Should we have a look at that form then, Claudio?
Yeah.
Here you go then. So talk us through it, Claudio.
Right, I'll get Mick off the screen. Well, basically, you can see it. You can see how bad it's been since January. And we've, I think it's, what did I come up with? 8 wins? Sorry. It's 28 matches, 8 wins, 6 draws, 14 defeats. The problem with those defeats, 7 of them are at home. I mean, look at that. A lot of this, and it's been a shambles. Our home form has been an absolute shambles. And, I mean, our form has deteriorated since January. I know we had the cup run, and I think the likes of, Wayne Littlewood came on in and he said he felt like it papered over the cracks, didn't he, of our league form. And we kind of ignored it because we're doing well in the league and we're going Wembley again, ole, whatever. But basically, it's been poor in the league. Now it's changed since January. It's changed since Dave Boddy's left. It's changed behind the scenes, that is. It's changed since we've had this performance coach who are not really sure. I posted something on Facebook. It's the most interaction I've had so far, where people have read it and gone, almost like, I didn't realise who is this woman? It's like they didn't realise what she's been doing since the start of the year. And to be honest, I went on there to have a look and see, when did she come in? And I thought, it's been that long, has it? I didn't realise when she came in. And when you read the Mumbo Jumbo she's coming out with, I'm thinking, oh my word, they're football players. Surely they need to be coached on the pitch. That's all I'm concerned about. All this psychology stuff and the tiredness thing and gelling together. And it's all like, I'll tell you what, I've been lucky that I've only ever worked in 6 places. I've never got on with every single person where you work. It's not possible. There's people you'd love to go for a drink with. There's some people you can't bear the sight of them for 8 hours, but you're there because you're doing a bit of work, and as a team you seem to produce the goods. It's the same with football clubs. I think they're focusing on all the wrong stuff at the minute. And the fact that AD went, Lawrence went, these are big factors. And we've got the biggest coaching staff I've ever seen. That photograph of all the coaching staff was ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. Why wasn't the academy players in the photograph? That's what it should have been. It should have been everybody who plays football and the manager, end of, maybe 2 coaches. You didn't need the owner in there. Is that so he can pick up on his ball?
Well, someone said on the radio yesterday, Luke, I don't know what you think about this. I said it a few weeks ago, and I said that, we came on last Sunday, we come on Thursday, and we're all buoyant. We thought, this is it. This is gonna kickstart the season. These 2 performances are going to kickstart the season. But before that, we had a couple of dodgy results. And I said, there's too many people in that dugout. And someone said on the radio last night, because I didn't get there till very late yesterday, and apparently out on the pitch yesterday there was 8 coaching staff coaching the players before kickoff. That's got to be confusing, isn't it, Luke?
Yeah, there's too many opinions, isn't that? It's like too many chiefs and not enough Indians, and that's the thing. I know the teams to that way the coaches, but if it's not far off, you only need 1 or 2. That's all you need. You don't need to sort of complicate things. And I saw an interesting photo online today where at one point you had 4 or 5 coaches just stood there as the team were warming up and practicing, and you're thinking there's something going on here. It's not like they don't care. It's not like they're not interested, but you don't need that many. And the thing is, we've gained a lot and lost the gem in AD. We did. We should have kept. We didn't want to lose AD, and we've gained another 3 or 4 that I believe don't have the coaching, don't have the influence that he does. They just don't. And players are humans, and like Claudio says, same with me at work. I'm the same. There's people I don't particularly get on with, but you have to do it. And the players, it's almost to me like sometimes I think now they've seen AD leave. It's having this sort of effect on them in the dressing room or out on the training pitch at Brighton when they're trying to give their opinions. It's too many. It's too many cooks.
People referenced, we're only one. They always say this: we're only 1 kick away. We weren't 1 kick away from the playoff final. We were always kicking a penalty to stay in the playoff, basically, because we're never in the lead at any stage. But we had Gyökeres, we had Hamer, O'Hare was injured. They've all gone. We've lost 3 really good players. We've got one guy. I mean, he walks out the house, he scores a goal at the minute, doesn't he? Gyökeres, it's ridiculous what he's doing.
Yeah.
I know it's not the brilliant league in the world, but he's still banging them in. You've got Hamer. I mean, I watch him, the games he's playing for Sheffield United, you're thinking, he should be sat in the field still. He looks the best player by a country mile. And of course, O'Hare, he decided to go because he basically wasn't offered enough. End of story. That's the end of that argument. That's why he left. He wanted more. He didn't get it. He's gone. They're there. It's a short career. They want the money. Fair play to them. But you can't take all that money we've took from them. I know O'Hare went for nothing, but we've not. We spent a lot of money on players I don't think we're going to get money back on. And we were told that the whole model was you buy them in cheap and we sell on to make money. You're not going to get 9 million for Haji Wright.
No.
That's what we paid for him. You're not going to get that kind of money for Ellis Sims. They've already. Who's going to pay 4.5 million for Kitchen? It don't make sense to me. Kitchen, League One defender. Thomas, League One defender. Rodoni had a good game yesterday, I thought. Scored I thought was a brilliant goal till I saw the deflection. Huddersfield got relegated. Another player. Mason Clark played for Peterborough. I mean, the first few clips I've seen of him, I thought, fantastic. He could be the business here. He couldn't trap a bag of cement. I mean, touch of a trampoline at the minute. Absolutely, it does me head in. And I don't understand what's going on. But we had the deal where we could have got him in January. The guy at Peterborough says, you can't have him till the end of the year. And Doug King was understandable. I'd have gone, oi, we're the Championship club. We want your player. Here's your 4.5 million. He's coming now. Not the end of the season. We needed him in January.
We did. We did need him in January because of Sakamoto's injury and everything. We lacked depth. We lacked depth. And I felt the same. I felt the same about what you just said. We should have said, no, this is your money. You're having it, and we're having the player. Why give him back out on loan?
He weren't going for 4.5 whatever million it was this summer.
No,
you know what I mean? I didn't hear any rumours of any clubs going in. And I it feels like all the doo-doos landing on Mark Robbins' head at the minute. And I think that's a bit unfair. Okay. I mean, we were walking up to the ground yesterday, and Lucas said, what do you reckon the team would be? And I said, I'll tell you what, he'd be a brave man if he picks the same team, because he never does that. And when we got there, I thought, I mean, to be honest, you may as well pick Ben Wilson, because to be honest, he deserved to start out of the whole 11 on Wednesday. So he should have played them all if he's going to do that. I don't know why I swapped the keeper. I'm not sure about that. But then after 10 minutes, it was blatantly obvious that Jamie Allen couldn't run. I mean, He was nowhere near.
The thing is, I think everyone was surprised at his selection. I mean, when we were on our way over, Will said to me, "Oh, I'll get the team news," and he just laughed, and I went, "Oh, what?" And he goes, "Alan's playing," and I went, "Oh, great, here we go." And then he went, "It's the same team apart from Wilson." I mean, Luke, what did you make to that yesterday being the same team?
I was a little bit surprised. I agree with Claudio. I would have kept Wilson because of his performance, but I would have switched it around a bit. I would have definitely switched it around a bit. I wouldn't have had the same players. I mean, I noticed it straight away with Alan. I thought he's not running like he normally is. But again, Alan's been good for us, in my opinion. Another League One player. He's good, but he ain't that top 6 championship good. But you look at some of the teams that are up there at the minute in the top 6, and some of their players are brilliant, formidable, and they are ready to go up. If they do go up, they're ready to go up. Let's look at our team. If we go up, how many in our team can literally go along the sides of like West Ham or even teams like Tottenham again, were week in, week out, let alone Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea.
It's interesting. You mentioned the Man City there, and I know they've got an amazing squad. They started that game against Arsenal. You'd think they want to put your strongest men out there. No Stones, no Foden. He had them on the bench. I thought that's incredible.
And Grealish on the bench, yeah.
That was incredible, wasn't it? I thought, blinking hell. That's. Yeah, I just feel. Sorry, Mark.
You've got to give Swansea credit, though. They came at us yesterday from the off. They got at us straight away. They've obviously seen the team news. They've probably thought, right, we'll get at these because they're going to be knackered from Wednesday night. He's picked the same team news. But fair play to Mark Robbins. He did come out at the end of the game and he did say it's his fault. He picked the same team. He thought they had the legs in them. But it's like Robin messaged me during the game and he says, what's Hadji Wright doing? Hadji Wright weren't even interested yesterday. He weren't interested at all. No lie, I think the last 4 games, Hadji Wright has been off it. He's been off it. I don't care if people say, a lot of people say he's the best player we've got. No. Right? We've all got our own opinions, but he is not the best player we've got. He has got some sort of chip on his shoulder that he just doesn't look like he wants to be at Coventry City at the moment. He looks like he can't be bothered to be there. And I know people would defend him and say, well, he's not very good at tracking back and all this. Right, if these players ain't good enough to track back, let's change the formation. Let's play a formation where those players haven't got to track back. Let's play Hadji Wright up front with Ellis Sims, or up front with Bassett, or up front with Tavares. Let's play him in his proper position through the middle. Let's not play these players out of position. And if we're weak at coming back from midfield because Hadji Wright can't run back, or Sakamoto tries his hardest. He tries harder than bloody Hadji Wright, that's for sure. But if they can't do it, let's change the formation. Let's do something about it. Let's start. If we have to, right, I can see what they're trying to put every player we've got on the pitch and put them in positions they're not good at. Let's put these players, if they can't get into the first 11 because of the formation, put them on the bench. Don't just put them in the team because they have to be in the team. Put them on the bench. If we're playing a certain formation and we haven't got those players, you're better off, and I think this is a better idea, instead of playing Hadji Wright on the left, you're better off playing De Silva on the left in front of Bidwell. You're better off. Because De Silva can track back, can't he? He knows how to track back, De Silva. Hadji Wright don't know how to track back. F1 don't know how to track back. So instead of playing these players in these positions, change the flipping formation to suit the bloody players. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
Yeah. It's interesting what you say there, Miles. A couple of things. It's commendable that Mark Robbins said it was his fault. I think that's the worst thing he could have said, because that now gives ammunition to the owner, who owes nothing to Mark Robbins, to get rid of him. When you start talking like that, he should have just made it a collective blame. We all got it wrong today. Not if you start as a manager. That's the worst thing you can do is blame yourself on your selection.
Well, this is why I said it was pain. That's why I said it was brave of him
No,
to say.
it's a bad
got it
decision.
wrong.
That's probably his worst decision of the day. Was actually blaming himself. But
Yeah.
also, do you remember Brigatore, the chairman of QPR, where he had his finger, where basically he had too much involvement? I think this is what's happening here. I mean, I was joking last season about slipping the team sheet under the door, but it certainly feels at times that because players have got value, basically, expensive players have got value. They're not worth anything unless they're on the pitch. That's all I'm saying on that. And it's this wouldn't be just our club doing this. Other clubs have done this when they're going, why the hell are they playing that player? He's been useless. Yeah, they've paid a lot of money for him. They need him on the pitch because they want to at some point get a return on him. You know, I think Mark should have just kept his mouth shut and blamed everybody. Actually, I think he hasn't done it for fun. I do not want. I'm going to say this out now. I've never ever called for Mark Robins' head because when I look at his stats, they're ridiculous. Only Billy Frith and sorry, not Billy Frith, Harry Storer and Jimmy Hill have got a better record than him win-wise in the entire history of Coventry City Football Club. You know, so with the help, he'll do the business. But it's it's no. You can't keep taking the best tools off him and not give him something better back.
The thing
or
is,
him to play players just because of their names.
There you go. Exactly, Luke. Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's get some more comments in. Let's get some more comments in. Let's get some chatting going. Come on, there's loads of comments coming in tonight. Oh, this is brilliant. I love it.
All right, Danny. I love Danny because Danny comes out with some great stats.
How are you, Danny?
3 clean sheets in 27 games, 2 wins in 14 league games, 35 points from a possible 81. That's not 8,111, I'm sure. 81. 10 wins, 5 draws, 12 losses. 3 wins in January, that is. No away wins since Easter. 45 million spent in a year.
It's what we've been saying. Over 40 million spent, and look what's happening.
Yeah. Mark Patman. Hi, guys. It's not Mark Robins' fault. It's the players for not putting in their shift.
Yeah.
Lost the dressing room then.
I'll tell you what.
Is he losing the dressing room?
These first, we'll go for that. These first opening fixtures, I thought, and I know at the start of the season, going, I reckon we could get 18 points here. When you look at the fixtures, I couldn't see why we couldn't. Basically, I thought the first hard game would be the one coming up next weekend.
Leeds, yeah.
Here we go. This is from Wayne Litwood. What's an absolute bag of Smarties yesterday was on the league so far. We've been good for 45 minutes this season against Watford. The rest is utter garbage. The club is not in a good place behind the scenes and on the pitch. Graham Cockrell, welcome to all the frustrated Coventry City supporters. Danny White. One league win this season against promoted side, only scored more than once this season in a league game despite a multi-million-pound attack. Tracking on relegation form since February. It's what we talked about. It's the worrying thing is this is what happened to Huddersfield. They got to the playoff final. The following season wasn't very good. Next season got relegated. It can happen because they lost the players. They sold 2 players, 2 main players, and they went downhill. So I don't think it can't happen to us. It's happened to bigger clubs than us.
The thing is as well, it's like what we say is about where we are in the league and how it's gone so far. When you look at the attacking force we've got, we created so many chances against Watford. We created so many chances against Spurs, and yesterday it was nothing.
It's like
Go on.
Sorry,
go on, Luke.
Comment earlier on about this. Yeah, we started off bad, not last season, the season before, and we got to the playoff final. Yes, we did start bad that season, and we got to the playoff final, but we had it with O'Hare, Hamer, and Gyökeres, and we had Fads in the middle as well. And that's one thing we're lacking in defence. I still think we're lacking that big man in the middle that can command it. So yes, we did start off bad 2 seasons ago, and yes, we did get to the playoff final, but we didn't get there with the team that we've got now.
No.
Yeah, but nobody expected Gyökeres to turn into a demon, did we?
No.
That's the other thing. It was ridiculous.
Yes, we all kept saying that about Ben Sheaf as well. He was rubbish. Well, not all of us, but some of us were saying he was rubbish. And look how good Ben Sheaf's turned into. Same as Victor when we signed him on loan. everyone was saying the same. Oh, he don't look like he's going to be any good, and we signed him for £1 million, and he ended up being an absolute superstar. And I agree with you. Since Dave Body's left, something just the pieces of the jigsaw not fitting. Same as what now Aid is left and Dennis. There's some jigsaw pieces missing for Robbins, and it's like I said to you about the Bristol game. Do you remember we were playing Bristol, and after that game, I said Robbins for the first few games was sat in his seat in the dugout. Mark Robbins never, ever, ever, ever sits in his seat. He either sits on the advertising boarding or he stands in that technical area for the whole game, every game. And for the first part of this, I know we've only played 6 games, right, in the league, but he's been sat in that dugout this weekend and last weekend against Watford. He wasn't in the dugout. And something he doesn't seem. I said, what did I say in the group on Saturday morning? I said I listened to Friday night. I said I listened to Mark Robbins' interview from Friday's press conference, and I said he sounded tired, fed up, didn't I? I said it in the group. I said he sounded fed up and tired, Mark Robbins, and you can tell with someone's voice. You can tell. And his body language when he's having his interview, he's sitting back. He's not sitting. He used to sit forward in these press conferences. He's sitting back. There's no good body language or tone. I know he doesn't have a great tone of his voice, but you can tell when he's happy when he talks, and you can tell when he's sad. And he just didn't seem right in his press conference Friday for me. So, yeah. That's what they need to get
the sound right in that press conference. It's awful. No, sounds like they're doing it in a bathroom.
They're all like that, aren't they?
Assassins Unite. I'll just get it up. 8 wins in 28 says it all. The nonsense of where slow starters trust the process. In Robbins we trust. Where shattered is ridiculous. Robbins is under pressure, rightly so.
They want to have Luke's job. They want to have Luke's job if they're shattered.
I know. I mean, I'm not shattered at work. I get other people to do it for me now. Paul Hughes, evening all. It's a fair point from Paul Hollyoak, but they're Mark's players. He picks the team. He brought them. I think they've changed the buying policy to what it was before this new fancy regime has come in. I'm not sure how much say he's getting in what they're getting in with some of these players. Basically, a lot of these clubs, that's how they operate now. You target, you say what sort of player you want, and then they show you 3 players, for example, and you pick one of them. I'm not even sure how much. It's not like the old days where the manager would go all around the world, all around Europe and England watching games. And Bobby Gould used to say every night he was watching a football match, scouting players. That don't happen now, does it?
No.
Mick Davenport, we need to scrap the coaching and start from scratch. Get one coach in and assistant manager for Robbins. We're overcomplicating things.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mark Patman. Pants, the Saturday word of the day. Yes, we had our pants pulled down with some of those players. The thing is, with the Tottenham game, the Watford game, we had a glimmer of hope, didn't we? And you're thinking, what a perfect. I know we haven't beaten Swansea for years, but they're not like a dangerous team. And we got completely schooled again. It's just a bit embarrassing, really. Yeah. And I said to Luca, I says, how can we play like we did on Wednesday and start the game so slow? I can understand if it was the last 20 minutes we looked dead on our feet, but to start the game like that, and we suppose you've got these fitness coaches in and people to help us get over tiredness. I don't get it. I reckon it's reverse psychology. It ain't working.
No, definitely not.
I wasn't Rant tonight. Ralph Wiggins, good evening, folks. We need to get back to basics. I do see on social, a lot of people are questioning what is going on behind the scenes now, and more than actually the manager. Yeah. I mean, Mark Robbins got plenty of credit. Absolutely has. Assassins Unite, I wish I could be more confident the season ahead, but unless massive changes, it's a struggle, I believe. Yes, this is a good point. I think this was baffling. Danny White, De Silva coming on in the 94th minute. Why?
There was no point.
Yeah.
No point. No point at all.
We got Phil Bevan. Players need to step up. Too many did not turn up yesterday. Haji Wright needs to start getting busier and help the team out.
He won't know, will he? He's I don't know. He just doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem like he wants to be at the City at the moment.
Yeah. Wayne Littlewood had an email. I had the email and took great pleasure filling it in. I don't think the club will read my responses out in their conference meeting.
What's it said?
Lee Dan. Not even was moaning when we reached the FA Cup final. Not even was moaning when we almost reached the FA Cup final. Smashed Everton 3-0, etc. Things are going to take a little time to bed new players, new backroom staff. We need to be patient and back MR. Right. I'll read this one out. I'm going to read this out and I'm going to say something about that.
Go on, I am.
Changed so far. King treating everyone like cash cows. Right. I just want to say this. We were leaking in goals last season. The season before, we had the great man Fads at the back, Luke McNally and Callum Doyle, who loved defending. Ben Wilson had 21 clean sheets, virtually half the season of not letting goals in. That's the reason we got to the playoff final. Loads of 0-0 draws, loads of little points here and there. They were solid. They knew how to defend. The joke on this channel was that every time he has a shot, it goes in. But he hardly had a shot to say, did he? We were so good. Last season, we were shipping in goals everywhere. This season, we've still got the same defenders. We didn't bring anybody in. And everybody's been saying, I think Milan's played all 7 matches so far. So he hasn't had a rest, I don't think, at all. So we've got no cover that side. So why let Jack Burrows go when he could have easily filled in for the cup games at least? Jack Burrows is decent on that side of the pitch. I don't understand that at all. We need a voice in the middle of defence. We need somebody like Fads who used to point all game, tell people where to go, where to mark, who to pick up. And also we need something on the left-hand side as well, I think, because I like Jake Bidwell. He does a job, same as De Silva, but they're not the quality that's going to get us anywhere near the top 6, I'm afraid. That's personal opinion.
I was going to ask Luke. Luke, what are your opinions on that from Lee Dan about need time for the new players to bed in and new backroom staff need to be patient?
No, I don't agree with it. They're professionals. Nowhere else gives you time to bed in. They at the start of the season, we're so many games in. How much longer? Need time until when? Need time until it's that point where we go, actually, we're going to fight to stay up here. What we needed is like what Claudio pointed out. I don't think we needed another keeper. Brad Collins was all right. Ben Wilson is always going to be what is my favourite. We needed that. We needed to replace Fads. We never replaced Fads. We needed someone that's going to shout with defenders in the middle, and we need a big talisman. Sorry, in the middle of the defence, and we need a big talisman in the middle as well. Someone that's not scared to track back, yell at his players, go up to the ref, confront the ref. A proper captain in the middle. That's what I think we need. We never did.
I mean, all this about bedding in and all this sort of thing. Look at Sunderland. Look at West Brom. Look at Sheffield United. Look at Leeds. Look at teams above us. They've all had new players this season, and those teams are punching above their weight at the moment. Or are they punching above their weight? And the players that they've brought in are absolute quality. No one would have thought that West Brom would be top of the league. No one would have thought Sunderland would have been up there. We all thought probably the newly relegated teams would be up there or thereabouts. But all this bedding in and all that, we've had that bedding in, and we've only added a few players through the summer. You can't have. You haven't got time in the modern day football. You haven't got time for all this bedding in. You don't see the Premier League teams bring in a player and they leave him on the bench for about 10 games till he beds in. You don't see it. They throw him straight in. They throw the players straight in. We've got to get away from this mentality of it's like when you watch England. England are not successful because it is literally, oh, well, we made the semi-finals. That's good enough. We have no English team, apart from Man City, have got a killer instinct. I know Man City have robbed everyone because they've faked the books and all this bull and everything
allegedly.
But if you watch them play, they just go, right? If you're going to go for promotion and you've got the boss of the company of the club saying, we've got a 5-year plan, we're getting to the Premier League. There's no time for this bedding in rubbish. You've got to go straight out there and you've got to go at it non-stop. And if you fall to your knees at 90 minutes or 98 minutes or whatever added on time is, you fall to your knees, right? And that's the attitude these players have got to have. And if the rumours are true that AD went because of his old style coaching and the players didn't like it, well, I ain't being funny. The players need to go. Because if the players don't like the old coaching style, then, we're creating a snowflake society in football players that don't want to be told off. You know what I mean? It's just...
Well, the new coaching style's not working, is it?
No, it ain't working. And
these are professional footballers. These are people that have been playing football since they were kids. They've been playing football in their teens, in their late teens. Yeah. How much more betting do you need? You play, twice, 3 times a week at Brighton, so you get to know the players, you get to know how the formation works. We've got X amount of coaching staff on standby to help these players bed in the week. How much more bedding in do they need? It's a pitch, and all they've got to do is play football, which is what they've been doing since they were kids. I don't believe this bedding in stuff. It's just rubbish.
When they say slow start, back in League One, we were top of the league already by now. And we got promoted that season, COVID year. This slow start has just been the last 3 seasons. The first time was because of the pitch, wasn't it? Is that right? And last year, because we had loads of players, the pitch thing was we were playing away from home. That was just unfortunate. Last season, new players, but I can just read this out. There's a few comments here. James Hollyoak, West Brom at top. They got rid of 14 players, brought in 11 new ones. They don't need time. No, they don't need to gel.
Exactly.
Sunderland have got an average age of 19 in midfield. They've got a 17-year-old kid playing for them. Did you see that goal he scored yesterday? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I understand. Having a real moan here tonight. But
that's what we're here for, Claudio. We're here to have a moan and we're here to cheer people up if we can.
This is all to do with, this is nothing to, right, this is stuff to do with behind the scenes. I'm having a little rant about. What is going on with our academy? Why are there no players coming through and looking like they're anywhere near the first team? I don't understand this. They hardly get a look in. So nothing. Are we developing players? What's going on? We're not even selling them for loads of money like Maddison back in the Sisu days. What's happened to these players? Why aren't they pushing through? Why are they always getting loaned out and we're bringing players in? He wants to save money. They're not even getting a chance. Some of these guys, they've hardly had a kick. So is our academy not working? Surely the easiest way to save money is to get players coming through the system.
Yeah. Well, we were meant to be a Category A academy at some point because of the amount of players we were churning out, and then, like you say, it has all of a sudden stuff. But Jack Burrows is a prime example. He played against Watford last season, not last season, season before. Had a blinding game. He could play in any of those positions at the back, left back or right back. He could play in either one because he proved that he can do it. If we're short, if we're short at the back or whatever, Josh Eccles can slot into a right back position because Robbins can trust him into that position. But I just don't know. I just can't put my finger on all this slow starting malarkey. I don't get it.
How do you think the Leamington Warwick Supporters Club feel? They've sponsored 2 players. They've sent one out on loan.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that at B Crew. Yeah, you sponsored him. Out on loan. I know.
Absolutely brilliant, that is, isn't
it? See, Graham Cockerell's made a good point about kids. Alex Ferguson put young players on when the first team. Yeah, you can't win things with kids, apparently. But I don't know why we're not pushing our academy more, getting them in there. Nothing better than hungry kids. Nothing better than hungry kids who want to prove themselves. They're dangerous because they'll go all out. They're not at this point, destroyed by any fame, or they don't have any big egos. There's nothing more dangerous than a talented youngster in the academy, giving them a run out.
Well, that's what are you talking about, the performance coach? That's what you put in an interview about how not having players with egos. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Sorry, Paul Gascoigne, you can't play here. Your ego's too big. It's just absolute nonsense. I want a big-headed striker. I want a Duncan Ferguson up front. You know what I mean? That's the sort of strikers you want. Players with attitude. Where would David Speedy be? He'd never get a game.
Yeah, I know. I
mean, I've never hated and loved the player so much all in one match. But David Speedy was the business when he was playing for you. God, just nothing. David Granigan, same Paul yesterday. It was like watching the same film on repeat. When I think it's going to change, I don't think it's Robbins out, but I think since Adrian Dennis left, you can see a massive difference. Mark Patman says Coventry players need to give their heads a shake. There's also the point that if at some point you still have to, like you're saying, Miles, give your all for the shirt, no matter who you're playing for.
I mean, look, we've backed. Excuse me. We've backed this team. We've backed this club. Look at Luke, behind Luke, all the shirts. Look at all your shirts behind you. I've got all the shirts from over the years, and I bought the shirts over the last couple of years. And you're buying the merch, you're buying the tickets, you're buying your season ticket, you're going to the away travel, you're going to the away games. We're behind the bloody team, and it seems we're not getting anything back at the moment. And if people think that we're sounding a bit, I don't know, on their backs a bit, we've got a right to be on the club's back. We have got a right to be on the club's back. We've backed the club. I've 55 quid a shirt each time. You buy 6 shirts, then you buy a training top, then you buy a pair of shorts or whatever, and then you buy something else when you go in the club shop. We're backing this team, and we're getting nothing back.
We do
nothing back.
When we have a rant, I'll just put it out there. We do it because that's how we're feeling. We're not Arsenal fans TV, whatever you call it, where they're doing it for effect. And Mark Woodbridge on the United one. It's just how we're feeling at this moment. I've seen stuff on X, whatever you call it now, from a couple of our fans who are normally so positive, to the point where I'm thinking, my God, surely you must have seen something bad today. And even they've gone, it's come to the point now where I'm actually doubting what's going on. And these are people who are really positive, the other end of the scale. And that's how it's got to some fans when they're seeing performances like that. But I think, like I said, there's more underlying issues, definitely. Shall I do some more? Andy, is it just me, or have things not clicked since AD left? Danny White, King bragging about Premier League football, paying lemonade wages but wants champagne players. And I've said this so many times. You can't say 3 out of 5 years we're going to be in the playoffs and 2 years around the playoffs. One season's gone. Are you telling me we're going to be 3 years out the next 4 in the playoffs with what we're doing? With the players we're getting in. Can't see it. Wayne Vaughan, he says, "Come and sit next to us, Luke."
I'll get like dead man shoes.
I know. I'll get you. There's 3 seats behind us where Wayne sits, so his lad doesn't have his seat anymore. I'll give you the row number and the seat numbers. You can change it and move into Singer's Corner with us.
Is he DBS checked?
Huh?
Is he DBS checked?
Is he DBS checked?
Oh, God. At least I'll be able to have a beer.
Emma's lost the dressing room. Players are ignoring him when told to do something. It's interesting. He said about they weren't following instructions, and it's almost like, yeah, but whose instructions are they listening to now? If there's too many
people, people.
We got 2 guys who are meant to be defensive players. Our defending from set pieces is shocking.
Oh, it's bad.
Isn't it? What's going on? every cross that goes in the box, you just think, oh, they're going to score. They're going to score. Yeah, it is. And also with their second goal yesterday, how nobody made a challenge at all to the guy got somewhere near the box.
No.
Yeah.
Every time they came down our right yesterday, Paul Critterford, where we was sat, he kept saying, "Look, there's 3 people at the back post. 3 of their players at the back post." Every time they came down their right hand side, our left hand side, there was players over in the box of their players. It was just dreadful.
I noticed the first half where Bassett would try and press, and he looked round. There's nobody behind him.
No one helping him. Yeah, he got fed up. He was fed up because no one was helping him with the press.
Big well crossing, going to no one.
Yeah. And then Asante was like going, well, who am I marking? I don't know what's going on. You got a guy who's a forward, predominantly a forward, playing out wide. He's out of position. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to me what's going on. And I think it's down to the fact we haven't recruited the right players.
Yeah, which is what we said earlier on about play these players in the right positions.
Yeah.
I like this comment because this is what we've just been talking about earlier on.
Trevor Merriman, evening guys, only my opinion, so please understand this. Oh, okay.
We definitely do.
I feel our problem is missing Dennis and AD. I feel we have too many coaches and Mark doesn't look happy both on and off the field. Was this his or Doug's decision? I can tell you now, Trevor, only one person is making all the decisions.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. You can work out which person that is. I shan't say. And that's just not hearsay. Mick Davenport, play like yesterday and Leeds will score 5 or 6.
You miss Wayne's comment above that.
Sorry. Mark Robbins' interview was very interesting. He calls out things this season where previously it was the usual, we have to work harder. Yeah, he has. We were saying this, being very candid now. He's just coming out and just saying it.
He never used to. He never used to. The way he's been talking this season, he's never ever spoke like that as a manager. I've never heard that out of him. He's always been a little bit cagey. He's been a bit like holding off with his answers. But excuse me. But this year, he has been. He's been a completely different manager. He's not happy. He's not happy.
There's Miles. Happy birthday, Miles. I think we need a picture of these budgie smugglers.
It's not me birthday. It was ages ago. It was Jack being a Burke. But me budgie smugglers, I'm going to have to order them, aren't I, just for the crack.
I heard you did go and buy a new set of briefs. And you had to go to the young boys, 5 to 6 year olds, because they're the only ones that are fitted properly.
They wouldn't get round my waist. What you on about? I've drank that much beer, and my belly's flipping round.
And Joyner, agree with Luke. We went into the South Stand last season for one game, same experience, cut off from the main concourse. Yeah. So that just sounds like an away end, doesn't it? That's what it's like in some away grounds, isn't it?
It's honestly, I've seen better away ends than that. You know, it's awful. It's just awful. Could we do something?
Interesting. We've not heard that at all, you see, Lee. That's interesting, mate, because that's the sort of feedback.
You know what they need to do? Where you come out of the come off the stadium and you go down to the concourse in Singers Corner, and it goes round to the right. There's a brick wall. There's a brick wall there that joins that stand. They should open that up. They should open that up and allow people to walk in and out.
Absolutely. And they can do, but they just didn't.
Yeah, they can do. They can open that up and put a stairway in or whatever to go down into the stand or whatever they want to do. But they just haven't.
It's really small. And the men's toilets, I think they've got 3 rows of urinals. That's it. I don't know what the women's will be like, obviously, but I think there's 2 cubicles. And that's it. Sorry?
How much room do you need, Luke?
I'm getting to the point now where I put my arm around someone while we're both taking a leak.
To spread yourself out. That's an interesting question. If you walk into a urinals, right, and there's 5 urinals to go to, which one would you go to?
You play chess. So you have to checkmate someone. So you have to have a clear one either side of you. So what you do is, if there's only a few left, you go to one where you force it. So if someone else comes in, they've got to go to stand next to you or someone else. It's your rival check.
It's something subconsciously we do and don't realise we're doing it. Anyway, that's got nothing to do with Coventry City, but I just thought I'd put it out there. So next time all these men watching goes to the list going, hold on, I'm doing exactly what Luke said.
That's interesting.
Right.
I always look for the most empty one.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the open ones, not the actual door ones.
That's what I'm on about.
Oh.
Yeah. I was looking to make sure no one's there.
It's just
I don't want to get splashed on my trainers. I don't want to get splashed on my trainers.
I won't tell you about the time I went to Soho, and I went to Soho years ago when it was.
Oh, yeah, he weren't going to tell us, but he is going to tell us.
And it's not like it now, put it that way, because I had to go and do some work at Shea. I mean, building stuff, not performing at Shea.
Careful, Claudio. You'll have to apologise again.
I've got me, wait there.
What are you doing now?
I've got my pen here. Anyway, we're doing some work. We're making. Oh, this sounds even worse. Sort of cages. But anyway, that sounds terrible.
How much did you get paid to be in one?
Yes, exactly. And it's totally different to what it was back in the 80s, where there's a lot of, I remember maybe like now, a lot of strip clubs. It's sort of very male orientated, but not for the gay scene, basically, if you know what I mean. So
you had bloody smugglers on in the cage.
No. But we went to like some public loos nearby, and my word, it wasn't what I expected, put it that way. And I came out with one of my work colleagues, and we went, oh, yes, I don't think we should have gone in those toilets and went somewhere else. It was, yeah. I thought, yeah, it was yeah. But the trouble is, we're dressed in work gear, so we had hard hats on. We looked like the flipping village people, didn't we? We got hard hats on, high vis on, and then, yeah, exactly. You couldn't make it up, could you?
No.
Oh, brilliant. I can imagine it now. You all got on the dance floor for the crap.
Oh, yes. Anyway, where were we?
Danny S. White.
Danny White. Here we go. Not making a change by the keeper after Wednesday. I've gone all hot and sweaty. Was criminal playing against one of the best pressing sides against Spurs. Puts the same outfield players out despite option on the bench. Do you think he did that to prove a point?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
It's very like Mark Robbins.
Yeah,
definitely. There's something, I don't know what. Mick Davenport not having any loans has cost us any chance to the playoffs. That's a great point. You know, loan players can get you up. Forest had loan. Jed Spence on loan. They had was Gibbs White a loan player at Forest? They had loads, didn't they?
Yeah, Gibbs White was a loan player. Yeah,
they had loads. They got promoted, and then you spend 120 million in the transfer market and hope you stay up like they have. They're now sitting 8th in the Premier League at the minute. And my neighbour's happy wearing a sky blue away kit. It's ridiculous. Assassin's United. Robbins has hung some of the players out to dry, citing a lack of commitment.
Yeah, so he should as well.
Yeah, makes a change, doesn't it?
You would get right in your normal job of every day, even Luke, me, and you. If we weren't performing at work, we'd be pulled into the office and say, "Right, you need to put your ideas up, guys." Wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Luke, you'd be pulled in, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, if you weren't pulling your weight, you'd be pulled in. And these players think that they can just do what they want. It feels to me, look, there hasn't been, I don't think there's been any players' meetings this year, has there?
No. It's interesting you bring that up. On my timeline, it came up that we were doing one now.
Yeah. So I think that would have been Matty Godden and Ellis Sims last season.
Yes, but there would have been 2 normally by now.
That's right, and we haven't had any this year. There's not been any,
and it's really weird that there's been no notification since the old crew have been brushed out the club, basically.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
None at Bedford, none at Leamington, none in London, none at Coventry. there's been no players' meetings. Now, is it because the players have turned around and said we don't want to do it anymore? Which they can do, because you know what they're like. They could turn around and say they don't want to do it anymore. Because you don't see many other clubs doing what we used to do. You know, last season, the season before, and the season before, there weren't many clubs taking players out to be interviewed by fans and everything.
But it builds egos. It builds egos, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It gives that attitude.
It gives you. You've seen it with some play like Ben Wilson, that when you're interviewing Ben and Matty Godden, and you know, even when you interviewed Latabodier and stuff, they were loving it. They were loving the attention from the fans. They could see what the club meant to the fans, and it gave them more passion for the club and made them want to achieve more. And there hasn't been any of that this season. None of it.
I was lucky. I was lucky because I did the Callum O'Hare interview because you weren't feeling well, were you? So I stood in for it.
Yeah.
And that was the first interview he'd given. And he'd never done one. And I thought, this is fantastic. I get the chance to do it. But it's not, he did one more after that.
He didn't do anything. It's strange. Really strange.
We'll see what happens I'm expecting October international break. If we don't have one then it's weird because we're meant to have 2 at least. Wayne Littlewood. Look where we were a few years ago. Brigade is out in full flow. Honestly, grow up. It's funny, isn't it? People, because when you show the stats for the last 28 games, people say, "Oh, you can't talk about last season. You can only talk about this season." And then they follow that with, "Look where we were 7 years ago." Well, make your minds up there. Now, so we can't look at the recent future, which to me is more important than 7 years ago. You got to look at what's happening now. We had a different model back then. GLB boxing, chasing a goal, and we swap a left back for a left back. The system needs to change and lay 2 up top. That's a good point because we always go like for like. I would say 90% of the time with substitutions. Yeah. We rarely go like in the middle of the game. It was obviously not working with Asante and Milan. They didn't know what they were doing. Both of them looked like, for me, that was the worst game Milan's had all season because he basically had no protection. He didn't know what was happening.
That's what we said after Norwich game, didn't we? We said that the changes, it was like for like. There was no formation change. It was just a change.
But you should be able to change your formation with the same players on the pitch, surely, and go, you tuck in here, you push a bit further forward. We don't seem to do, change it from, 4-1-4-1 to 4-3-3 or something. But we don't seem to do that, do we?
No, definitely.
So where does that lie and who takes that responsibility?
Well, I blame George Boateng and this other lad because he's from Wolves, the other lad. George Boateng's from Villa. I know he used to play for us, but he's a Villa player. And he don't like us anymore.
Matt, we played well first half against Watford and against Spurs, as they're both poor. We haven't been playing well for a while. Too many midfielders are out of form and shaky defence. I rewatched that Spurs game, and the first thing they said was they were saying just how awful Spurs were. That's what they were saying. Interesting. I mean, it's worrying that we can get ourselves up for Man United, Wolves, Spurs, and then when it comes to the dog end, basically, where you got to get stuck into your league stuff, we can't perform.
Yeah,
and it's happening more often than not now. Wayne Littlewood, lead down is 100% on Doug King's payroll to promote positivity.
I like Dawn's comment coming up.
Dawn Cook. I feel like MR can't win. If I'd have changed the team and we'd lost, the fans would be kicking off, asking why he changed them when we played well against Tottenham. I agree something was going wrong since Lawrence and AD had gone. Yeah, and the majority of people, I think, would have gone, fair play to him. He's picked the same team. But obviously thinking, well, he's never done that before, after, with a midweek game. But, right. This is Glenn Watkin. Robbins goes. Who can we realistically bring in who's better? Certainly don't want Lampard. Moyes wouldn't join us. I don't see an outstanding candidate out there.
That's a good question. Luke,
Yeah.
who would you think could take Robbins's place? I think Luke's frozen.
It's
I think we've lost Luke.
asleep here. Come on, Luke, wake up. You got a big job at the airport. Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
I'm too close.
Who do you think?
Well, I said this. I played devil's advocate on Facebook yesterday and got everyone thought I said Robbins out, which I didn't. Who would you? Who, if not MR? Who? I can't think other than Potter. I think Potter's the only one that I can really think of who could probably, do it for us. Look at some of the other managers. And the thing is now, lots of things go on behind the scenes, and managers aren't stupid. If they see a club in a sort of bit of a turmoil where it looks like Doug's probably calling the shots, they're not. No one's going to come. No one's going to come. They got rid of Mark. Who's going to come and go, yeah, I'm going to be someone else's puppet? They're going to want to come into the club and run it like a manager, not have to be told, like you say, the slip under the door. Play these because they're big names and we have to play them. So I think for me, Graham Potter, but then would he come?
Yeah, Will and I spoke about it on the way home, and he said to me, he says, when he heard Mark Robbins' interview, he said he thinks that is a sign of someone who is virtually on his way. And I said, well, you don't sound daft there, because the way his interview went, it did sound he was really disheartened, yeah. And we said, but who would we have? And he's done so good for, like you said, Claudio. He's the third best record for the club. He's done so much for the club, and if things are being taken away from him, and he's losing all that control when it's not his fault, it's such a shame, because everything was, even all the press and everyone, Sky TV was saying how much we're on an upward spiral. We're going up. And if he is losing that, I just can't see anyone else. Like Luke's just said, I can't see anyone wanting to come in and be a puppet and not being able to run it the way they want to run it. Because if Mark Robbins has lost all that, who's to say a new manager comes in and he's going to be treated any different? And it's going to be difficult. I think it'd be difficult to get a new man that's probably as good as Mark Robbins, because we know he can do it tactically. We've seen it over the years. We've seen how good he is tactically with big games. And he is, for me, in my lifetime, apart from George and John, for me, he's got to be the best manager. Although I was pissed off the first time he left us. That really upset me, because I thought he was doing a great job then. And I thought we were going to turn things around back then. And he walked out. But this, for me, I can't see a replacement for him. I don't want him to go. I really don't want him to go. But the way he is sounding at the moment, as I've said it a few times tonight, he doesn't sound happy. And if his hand's being forced and he's being forced out, I don't know who would come in and take over. I really don't. I really don't.
The thing is, our stock has gone up massively. The way we've done in like the cup competitions and the playoff final, and every time they put us on telly, majority of the time it's a good performance. It's a decent game. They can see what's going on. They see the crowds. That's another thing at the minute. Would bring a manager in. I mean, to say you can't think of any, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, because I've not even thought about it. That's the thing. I'm not thinking, we've got to get rid of our manager. Let's start looking who I can have. I mean, his win rate the first time round is the best ever, like 51%. It's. I mean, Jimmy Hills was about 43 or something. I'll just check on that. Yeah, Jimmy Hill was 44. His first time in charge was 51%. Mark Robbins is at 40% now, which is actually very good in terms of win rates. So he can definitely win games. That's not an issue. We know that because of what's happened the last previous 7 years. But since since January, it's not been great. And I don't think he's really had the support. So thinking of who could we have, I haven't got a clue, if I'm honest, unless we get that bloke from the Football Manager, the Lille manager, who's only ever done Football Manager and seems to be impressing everybody. And apparently my son says every game they have to pay 50,000 or something so we can actually manage the team. They get fined or something every time we manage.
So we were talking about players' nights. Mark Harrington, good evening, Mark, has just messaged me with a poster from the Better for Nuneaton Supporters Club. They have a meeting on the 24th of September, and they will be having Milan Van Ivak, Tatsu Sakamoto, and F1 Mason Clark. They're having 3 players.
That's the 20. That's 2 days' time.
24th of September.
Yeah, 2 days.
2 days. Yeah. It's Tuesday. There you go. There you have it. So hopefully that will give them a kick up the arse, having a players' meeting.
The problem is that's not the 2 players that need to kick up the arse, is it?
No, it's not. That's the 3 players that need to kick up the arse. No, it ain't. No, definitely not. Let's get back to some more comments.
Right, yeah, loads here. Let's get this out. Talking too much. Adam Shaw play 4-for-3 next match. Binks left back, Kitchen, Bobby Thomas, and Milan have Binks tuck in and push Milan forward when building out to make it 3 at the back. This is from Gavin Collins. Haji Wright needs a spell out of the starting lineup. His performance yesterday was woeful. No awareness, no movement or effort. EMC needs a run now. DK has definitely changed too much too soon off the pitch, i.e. staff lost all the togetherness and leadership on and off the pitch. All travel advice. Although the performance wasn't great today, we could have stolen an undeserved point with a Stonewall penalty not given. The referee was awful, gave Swansea everything. This is from Mark R. 3 reasons to be cheerful. 1, we're still not as bad as Cardiff. A very good friend of mine sent me that message as well. He's a Cardiff fan.
Mark Robbins. Come on, Mark Robbins. We know you're watching.
Have they just sacked their manager today as well? Cardiff.
Oh, have they sacked him?
Mate, I'm not sure. I'm sure that's what the message said. At least our defence dropped a bigger clanger as Huddersfield. Watch last night's highlights. And 3, he doesn't know what the third one is. Mark Vaughan, start with 2 up front. Mick Davenport will be bottom 3 after Leeds. Gosh, that's not the start we wanted, is it?
You watch. We'll go to Leeds and we'll beat them.
Yeah. Ray Carleon. Sorry, I'm in the Robins out brigade along with the backroom staff. I appreciate everything he's done for the club, but there's no room for sentiment in football. All right. Assassin's Unite, 20 coaches who are all Phil Neal types. Yes, boss, they say. If, as Robin says, there's a lack of commitment, someone needs to tell them.
Before you go on to the next one, Cardiff have sacked their manager.
Yeah, I thought that's what the message said to me.
And Hearts have sacked Naismith as well.
Right.
There you
go. Mark R. In a way, I don't mind losing if the performance is there. Just looking limp makes it feel worse. I think Robbins lost the dressing room, but I couldn't see King paying the compensation.
Yeah, it'd be a lot, wouldn't it?
Sean Williams, was Robbins having issues with AD? I would say he wasn't, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Ray, again, with regarding the dog, I'm taking a parrot next time. We can be sick together. Somebody thought, I hope he doesn't poo in the stand, and I wrote, well, I think we were doing that all over the pitch on Saturday. It's a support dog, isn't it?
It's a support dog. Yeah.
Ray Ryan, apart from the Spurs game, I can't think of another game for months where we've played well for a whole game. We are so easy to score against. I wonder if we need 5 at the back again.
we said the other night that why don't we go back to a back five?
Yeah. Peter Doolan, what I don't get is teams leave a player, sometimes two up front from corners, so the opposition has to leave players up with them. We never do that. We just seem to get teams coming back at us. When will we learn?
We did it. We did it for the first game at home, which was against Oxford. We did it against Oxford. We left a player up front, but ever since that, we haven't done it.
Yeah. Zonal defending as well, it's rubbish. They're just standing there like statues. Glenn Watkins, surely the players need to stand up and be counted as well. Well, they do, Glenn.
That's
Quite
what we're
right.
saying. We're saying it's more the players than the manager, mate, honest.
Assassins United, sign League One players. Don't be surprised if you end up in League One.
Yeah, that's what you said, Claudio.
Well, yeah, it's not ambitious enough. We should have been loaning in players from the Premier League. We are losing a lot of games. When Adi Vivash was here, fans are searching for answers as to why. I see snippets of brilliance. Spurs, Watford. I think Saturday will be the turning point.
We said that after the Spurs and Watford game. We thought that was going to be the turning point, Lee. I hope you're right, though, mate. I do hope you're right. It's going to be the turning point. I really do.
Wayne Vaughan, for me, it started when Dennis Lawrence went. Mark R. We've been through the sacking manager thing before it got us Andy Thorne and Russell Slade, and bringing in a big name manager resulted in Peter Reid. Careful what we wish for.
We're not wishing for it, Mark Robbins. Honest, we're not wishing for it. Trust us.
Neil Park, we are always missing one or two positions every season. I think the disappointing thing is that we got players in early, and then we didn't do anything, and we thought we were going to get some like a couple of marquee signings, didn't we? Where we go, oh, I can't believe we've signed him, but we didn't, did we? It was all a bit.
Yeah, I've got a question for Luke. Luke, out of the play, because we haven't been on since we started the new season, but out of the players that we've signed in the summer, who do you think's the most prospect player for you that is going to really shine?
I think Redoni for me. I think he's really good. My worry is, what if he gets injured? Who's going to replace him? But I think Redoni, he's getting better and better. He seems to have a lot of passion there, chase after it. There was a part on Saturday where he lost the ball, straight back after it again. I think he's got that passion there, and he seems to have bonded well with the club and with the fans. So I think for me, it's going to be Redoni.
But it's like, when you look at Bissett, they were doing the high press. Redoni was trying to do the high press. The high press only works if everyone does it, and you can't just have two of them doing it, can you? But yeah, I agree. I think Redoni's starting to look like a real quality player. I can't wait to see him with Ben Sheaf in the team.
Yes.
I think that's going to be completely different then, isn't it?
Yeah. And you mentioned Bissett as well. I think it's a tough choice for them, Redoni and Bissett. I think Bissett's got a lot ahead of him, but it's whether we'll keep him or not,
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? Keeping hold of them.
Yeah,
definitely. All right, Claudio.
Dawn Cook says, I pray that Alan goes in the January window. He's poor. I think he had enough when he went off, He looked like a bloke who didn't want to be on the pitch. The lad in marking was skinning him so badly. He was just, for pace, he was so off it. He absolutely he rinsed him every time, didn't he?
We don't know if his heart thing was playing up.
Oh, good point. Yeah, you never know, do you?
No. We don't know if his heart thing was playing up, though, do we?
Dan, Clark should start every game. Has you right, doesn't work hard enough. I was referring to him. Players need to take a look at themselves. Why didn't Robbins put up a fight to keep AD and Dennis? That's from Mick Davenport. Offer of Mercia. Blackburn and Sheffield Wednesday home games look massive already as Preston away follows. Do you see the press? Did you hear about the incident where he bit the back of the player's neck? You heard that today?
Yeah. I see. Yeah, he bit the back of his neck and got a yellow card.
And the other guy got sent off.
Yeah.
Ian Small, hi guys, why do I do it? Yeah, Ian travelled from France yet again.
Bless you, Ian. I don't know why you do it, mate. Honest, because you love the club. That's why, Ian. We love the club.
And you know what? These guys and men and women who travel from so far away, I know it's their choice, but I don't feel they get looked after well enough. I really don't. Yeah, that's a hell of an effort.
Yeah.
And the chances are he'll get penalised if he couldn't come and because he's got a season ticket. And somebody used his ticket and he found out, and he'll get penalised and probably get suspended by the club because it's happened to somebody else I know last season. So it's
the Norwegian fan club were over as well, weren't they? They were over yesterday.
Yeah, they should be treated a lot better than what they are. Mark Cunningham, I'm still firmly behind Omar. He put his faith in the team that played Spurs. They let him and us down. He won't make the same mistake again.
You see, that team news. Look, I was quite chuffed in a way that he picked the same team. The only thing I wanted him to change was Jamie Allen. And it would have been nice if Wilson started in goal, because they did deserve another run out. But then you question it. You liked it when you're seeing it, but then you question it thinking, well, he's always going on about our players are always tired. Have they got the legs to take it into this game?
Yeah, but he said that you shouldn't be talking about him being tired. He actually said that this time in his interview.
Yeah.
He wasn't even blaming tiredness.
No.
Assassins Unite. One question. I'll read this out. Assassins Unite. Our midfield is so lightweight. Alan Sakamoto talk. Just get bullied and pushed off the ball. Eccles is trying, but he wouldn't get into a top 6 side. I also think as well, the Sakamoto stopped crossing the ball.
He's probably being told not to cross the ball.
Lee Dan, Miles is right. Hold on a minute.
Hey!
From Ken.
Cheers, Lee.
Maz O'Keefe, Tavares would have done a better job on the right side. Is Wright homesick? Well, I don't know, Mick. He came over from Turkey. He was playing the Turkey.
But we keep saying the right side. Haji Wright plays on the left side. And we keep saying this, that he plays on the right side. He plays on the left side. So you're right. Tavares would have done a better job on the left-hand side. Even on the right-hand side, he still would have done a better job. But he still would have done a better job on the left-hand side, Tavares.
This is one from Mark R. The key is, as we've all been saying since July, is midfield. We're scratching around making the same mistakes with the same players in midfield. As soon as Ben Sheaf was injured, they should have been trying to get a midfielder in.
Yeah.
Because as much as I like him, he's made a crystal, isn't he? Basically.
Yeah. I mean, Luke, who would you have liked to seen us sign?
Oh, God.
That's a tricky one, isn't it?
Dele Alli.
Dele Alli.
Dele Alli. Fair. When people started talking about that on Facebook, I thought, but we can't.
It wasn't one of my rumours, was it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. To be honest with you, I don't really know.
The thing is, we're getting 26. I know there's 11,000 Swansea fans, so 25,000 Cov fans in there, and we're being served up a bit of muck at the minute. I'm sorry, but we are. Can you imagine if we were really at the top now? You would not get a seat.
No.
And surely our owner can see that. Somehow he's managed to get everybody to buy loads of season tickets and, like Miles says, shirts and everything else. But surely you can see that the potential is even bigger than what it is.
Well, this is the problem. As he starts... Sorry.
But likewise, it can go the other way just as quick.
Yeah,
Go on, Luke.
it will dwindle. Shirt sales will dwindle. The season tickets might drop if we don't do well again this season. You know, X amount of people were promised this Premier League package, you know, which is getting closer and closer to that time. And obviously, money, everything, fans on seats, season tickets, shirts, merchandise, food, drink, everything's money in the bank. And surely, if something is going on behind backstage, hopefully, truly, Doug will see it sooner rather than later. Because the later it gets, where are you going to get your money from?
Yeah, I agree. I agree, and I believe that one mistake they've made this season already, which was bringing out the white away kit because it never sold. It hasn't sold as well as they thought it was going to sell. I think you're on about things off the field that aren't quite right. That was the first part of it, I think, because all our kits have been brilliant by Hummel for the last few years since they came back, and I think this year, apart from the black one, they've been probably the worst ones we've had from Hummel. And
I hardly saw anybody wearing the white kit on Saturday. Loads in the black kit, absolutely loads.
And I think when you look at it that way, I think it's like Dave Boddy said to us last week. He says, when Ken asked him, when do you start looking at the new kit? He says it'd be about now that they'd already be discussing it. And so that would have meant that Doug King would have got to choose that kit last season. And, we all, just things don't seem rosy, does it?
Well, the people who chose a kit aren't in there now, are they? They've all left.
Yeah, they've all left, yeah.
Wayne Hill was written an essay here. I was actually pleased he played the same squad as it showed. If you play well, then you keep your place. It's fair enough. Good point. However, after 10 minutes, you could see we looked poor. I still don't accept the tiredness excuse, 6 games in and a few cup games. These are professional athletes who have the best facilities, nutrition, technology, and so on. Yeah. Not good enough. And we've got a performance coach. Remember, this is what I was talking about.
Absolutely.
And also, they haven't played every minute of every game. That's the other thing as well. People keep forgetting. Assassins Unite says poor tactics from Robbins and Janet. Wright is a waste of space. He thinks he's the only one who can score. Someone to tell him it's a team game. Yeah, there's no I in team, but there's a U in. Paul, yeah, I said that once to an under 12 hockey team. I wasn't allowed to coach him again. Paul in age.
Hi, Paul. What time is it over there?
Wherever it is, it's more wide awake than that like yesterday. Paul in Asia. I picked Coventry for automatic promotion. So did Ken. So did Miles.
So did I. It's all gone Pete tongue, Paul. It has, really has.
I said third. Oh, God, what's up with? Well, yeah. Ian Small, Wright needs to go. His wages must be a negative issue amongst the players.
Yeah, good point. I like that one.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah.
Your average Cov fan, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to work out who's the leak. Club matters to the fans and the certain podcast. Sick and tired of it. Who's the leak?
Hey?
Hey?
You don't have to be a rocket scientist to work out who's the leak. Reference club matters to fans and a certain podcast.
Oh, I know which one he's talking about.
What one?
Not this one. I know who's referring.
We won't discuss that on air then.
Man Thornton, DK and Dean Austin. How can a guy who's made his money in rapeseed oil and someone who had a bang average football career make key decisions on player recruitment, which is hampering MR? And I will say this as well about Doug King. Everybody used to moan because Sisu's a hedge fund. That's what I'm saying. So what's the difference to Doug King? Because apart from the rapeseed thing, hedge fund management, I believe, is involved in. He's a gambler. That's what he said that he's a gambler. Hence the thing with the season tickets for 500 quid. You know, he's looked at it. He's probably looked at the odds. The odds are we're not going to get promoted. So for him, he ain't going to lose anything.
No.
You know, at the minute, he's not losing anything. He's gaining all that money in terms of ticket sales.
500 quid extra off each fan that signs up to it.
Yeah, and 550 if you signed up to this year.
Yeah.
So he's a gambler. We know that.
Yeah.
Doug Bolam, MR might have admitted he made a mistake with the team selection, but that's no excuse for the players not turning up.
Nope.
And I mean, myself and Miles, we were championing Doug King from the beginning because of what he was saying, the way he was talking about what the plans are for the future. We've really brought into it. I mean, it may come off yet. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it just feels like when I know the Saudis who took over Newcastle. I'm going to go off on one now. It's owned by a nation, a country, aren't they? But when they came in, the first thing they did was sign players. That's the first thing they did. That's how you gamble. They sign players. Obviously, they go to a different stratosphere in terms of winnings, and now they can't because of financial fair play and all the rest of it. But they got into the Champions League. They set the goal and they got it. They got to Champions League. I feel he's come in, he talked the talk, but he hasn't really done anything.
I say this all the time. We got to the playoff final by signing one permanent player under Sisu, and that was Casey Palmer on a free.
Yeah.
The rest of it, they're already there. So they're already at the season before. So that season we got to the playoffs, we signed Casey Palmer on a free. That's the only player we signed on a free to get to the playoffs.
And we were moaning as a fan base that we didn't sign anybody in that window.
And then all of a sudden, Doug's come in with signing all his players. We think, oh, this is hunky-dory. And it just hasn't worked for us. Hasn't worked. It's just, oh, man. It really is so frustrating because we know we've got he's got to be the best manager in the Championship. Don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, of course.
And the players just ain't doing it.
Most of the other clubs want Mark Robins. You listen to fans; they go, "I wish we had Mark Robins our manager." So, we know that.
It's frustrating.
Your average Cough fan, right, is burnt out. He's played a lot of football over the last 2.5 seasons, including summer. Oh, burnt out. Blimey.
I've had 5 days holiday this year.
Yeah, I know.
I've worked every day. I've had 5 days holiday this year.
My boss reckons I have 5. My boss reckons I have 5 days every time I go into work. Paul Thompson, Robert's never spent long at the club. Look at his record. He's 26, never played more than 50 games at the same club. It's about 50 for us now.
Then, isn't it?
We've got a short attention span.
Yeah.
Lee Dan, Eccles has turned up last couple of games, even getting captain's armband. Player had you right down the middle.
Yeah. Eccles has stepped up to the mark being captain. Fair play to him.
You may as well play De Silva on the left. He's a good cross of the ball and a poor defender.
He's not good at crossing corners, though. Keep him off corners as Hastings United. Keep him off corners.
Robin's out, bringing David Moyes. Well,
that's the first one tonight.
David Moyes is a good manager. He's a very good manager. Yeah. I mean, people take the mick out of him sometimes because of what happened at Man United. That wasn't his fault. There's lots of things in the background at United. Yeah. But I think he's a really good manager.
Yeah. Well, he had a good couple of spells at West Ham, didn't he?
Everton and Preston back in the day. Preston. Yeah. He's not. Yeah. I don't think there is ingenuity and new ideas.
Very much so.
They don't appear to have a plan. Frank Lampard, no thanks. No, that's from Sky. No, we don't want Frank Lampard. Assassins United, there's plenty of good managers out there. Mark R. Right, not tracking back, putting Bidwell de Silva under pressure, and the criticism of the crowd. Wayne Vaughan says there's too many coaches out there, and Sky Blue Sam says, yeah, see, if Alan is out for the season, will Doug sanction a move for Matty James? Oh, he'll probably call one of the loan players back.
Do we go back?
Mick Davenport.
Do we go back to Matty James, Luke? Luke, would you go back to Matty James?
Yeah, I would. If Alan's going to be out like that question, that's right, I would.
Yeah. Okay.
Paul Scholes. Get Paul Scholes. See if he come out of retirement. Just get Paul Scholes and sit on the centre circle.
At least he could hit them from outside the box, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Frank Lampard. Don't have him as a manager. Stick him in midfield, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
I can still play.
Bring back Joe Cole. Faster than right.
Yeah. Bring back Joe Cole, I say.
Yes.
Yeah, Joe Cole.
Mick Davenport. Drop right, bring a youngster from the under 21s. At least they'll show some passion.
Yeah.
Assassin United, it's a shame. I'm sure 99% of the people would rather be talking about fantastic football.
We would.
It's true. I just can't. Yeah, I looked at the crowd, and the crowd looked really up for it. You know, the big crowd. It was a really good crowd, and then after 10 minutes, it was like I said to Luca, "This is the worst 10 minutes. This is worse than Norwich." It was just terrible.
I love this question.
To change the subject, when was the last time we came off for the weather?
Wow. How pathetic was that yesterday? Seriously, how pathetic was that yesterday? I didn't even see the light. I didn't even see the lightning. And he pulled them off.
It was the only flash of energy that we saw.
It was the only flash of energy. I seen the light in it. I seen the lighting after they came back on.
Yeah.
I seen it then, but I didn't see it when he took them off.
Apparently, he was the referee was concerned about the electrical devices. Electrical devices. Unless he was on about the earpieces that they wear, but then take them out there. Let's go back to old football.
Surely they're waterproof, aren't they?
Yeah, of course they would be.
But I mean, you take them off for what? Was it 6 minutes? They were playing in torrential rain today in Manchester. They didn't pull them off, did they?
Oh, you can't say things like that on live on air. We're supposed to get oranges.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
We'll go back to the builder's hat and the cage, aren't we, Claudio?
Yeah. I said to someone at the ground yesterday, I said, I used to go to school in the snow and ice.
Oh.
They pulled him off for playing football in the rain. Have a word. Come on.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Thing is, I mean, I'm not sure if we'd have got back into it, but we weren't doing too badly when he pulled us off. I've said it now. When he took us off the pitch.
Yeah.
You know. Right, I'll read these out. Mick Davenport, Alan should never be on the pitch in the first place, League Two player. Ian Collins, come on, lads. Alan and Bidwell, League One, just be honest. Mandip Singh, if it carries on like this for another couple of games, I'm thinking regarding the change the manager. Luton had 1 win in 17 games prior to last week and 2 wins now, but Edwards has never subjected the Spanish Inquisition there, blows in the table. In fairness, a lot of those games were in the Premier League. Lose the next 2 or 3, Robins will be gone. If it carries on, crowds will dwindle, heads will roll. Mandip Singh.
Yeah.
How many COV players do you see talking to one another from the back to midfield or attack? That's from Ray Carillon. This is what we've talked about. There doesn't seem anybody on the pitch. And Eccles kind of said he's not really that type of player. So, it's, Mick Davenport, and he was captain. Mick Davenport, the defence don't shout to each other.
No, that's what we're saying. We're missing a leader in there, aren't we?
Absolutely.
All right, this is Lee Dan. Come on, Lee. Bring us back up again, mate. I'm not worried as to see the positives. However, he's putting however in there.
Oh.
Lee, come on. My real concern is if Rudoni gets injured, who plays 10, Massive concerns as he's one of our better players. Thoughts, guys? Well, Lee, you bang on, mate. We are short in midfield.
Luke said that exactly the same, didn't you, Luke?
Yeah. I'm worried if he gets injured, what will we do? Yeah, Lee's got that spot on there. There's no one, is there? Yeah.
No.
He might just take someone else and put him in a different position. Yeah, might as well put Wilson in there.
Yeah, Assassin's United. She's a top player, but unless he can get on the pitch, he's a waste of time. I'll tell you what, if someone comes in for like 8 million now and he goes, I think we won't get too many complaints because the fact he's always injured.
Yeah.
How can your main player be injured at the start of the season like this? It's ridiculous.
Luke's just knocked the nail on the head there. Wilson did used to play outfield.
Yes, he did.
When he was at Cardiff. When he was at Cardiff, he used to play outfield, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played him up front. And then when he missed the sitter, he went, right, you're going back in goal.
Phil Bevan, sorry, there's no one out there who could replace Robbins. Plenty of players out there who could replace some of the lazy so-and-sos we currently have.
Yeah, totally agree.
Glenn from Sky Blue Hub, Robbins was never going to be sacked under Sisu. He's lost a lot of allies now with Doug. I'm not sure. Robbins got the unwavering backing he had under Sisu. The only thing is, if he leaves, then he gets no compensation. So if they did get rid of him, they'd have to pay him, and he doesn't like parting with money, does he?
No, definitely not.
So Sheaf seems to have glass legs at the moment. That's what we're saying, Wayne. Yeah, it's like made of crystal. Adam Shaw, do we have an actual assistant manager? That's what we need, and all the other coaches can keep their mouths shut during the matches for match advice. Mark Robbins needs to create some order. It's all down to the performance person. Ian Plimlott, MR looks like Gordon Strachan did at the end. What, ginger hair?
Hey.
I didn't say anything bad about it. I said, what, ginger hair? Ian bumped into, I used to work with Ian. We used to work on site together, and he saw some of our work colleagues the other day, and he says, we were talking to this guy who used to work here. And I went, oh, did he mention me? He went, no, he never mentioned you at all. I thought, well, thanks, Ian. Mick Davenport, nearly all of them lazy players are on 4-year contracts. They're going nowhere. Oh, that's the issue. Lee Dan, MR didn't seem right in body language. Miles, because he was fuming about his players, he said, don't be fooled by my relaxed demeanour.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, my mum used to say that before she got the slipper out. Yeah. Mick Davenport sounds like it's Doug King, Dean Austin show. One name too many. Wayne Vaughan, that performance woman isn't working. Glenn, agreed, too many voices in the room, no clear foil to Robbins and someone to argue against the decisions and challenge him. Robbins off to Cardiff. God. Mick Davenport, the sleep therapist, is doing a great job. We didn't wake up until the 70th minute. Can you imagine? She's on the sideline. She's on the sideline going. She's on the sideline going, no, not now, lads. Not yet. Not yet. We're not ready for the sleep bit yet. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. You're back in the room. James Hollyoak. Mark said the players had Thursday off, and some of them would be in on Friday for interventions. So they haven't trained for Saturday's game. How professional sportsmen look tired. Yeah. Finn, all the supporters wanting Robbins out. Be careful what you wish for. Most teams would give their right arm for MR. Yet again, a new side that needs to click. We are nearly there. PUSB.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's what.
Bring back Ben Wilson. Well, good point.
Yeah.
Wayne Vaughan, he doesn't think the keeper's a problem. But it's amazing that this guy's had no experience and they've put him straight in. This is what I don't understand. Finn, we're nowhere near there. In fact, the team is weaker than last season.
Oh, he started something, Finn has.
Glenn, Milan isn't right. He's either not fit or something is going on off the field. Well, like I said, Glenn, I think he started every game. Gusto Audio, transfer window was a bit of a mess. Instead of targeting players we needed in key positions, we spread it around in positions we didn't need. So the squad is deeper overall, but no one knows the best 11. I mean, I'm glad we got Bissett, but that wasn't the play we thought we were going to get in, did we?
No.
Assassins Unite, I'd pick Ben Wilson. I'm not convinced with Dovin.
I think Ben's a bit more vocal, isn't he?
Mick Davenport, I think Milan had his head turned with the refused offer for him. I'm not sure. I think that's a massive rumour, Mick. There's a lot of people put stuff out where they say, oh, yeah, PSV want to sign him. I think PSV would go elsewhere.
Yeah, no.
Finn, we're not taking our chances, that's all. Oxford, 16 new players. They seem to be bedding in quickly. That's Ian Small.
Sunderland, West Brom, all of them. Sheffield United.
Glenn, dropping Sims, De Silva, Torp, Mason Clark after their best games for us last Saturday v Watford this season isn't going to boost morale and team spirit. It's so early in the season, isn't it, to keep swapping around though. Wayne Vaughan, DK's 5-year plan isn't working for me. Catty Kaz, beat Leeds on Saturday, all is forgiven, back on track. Remember, it could be Yeovil without Mark Robbins with Russell Slade.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll all be chipper on Sunday, won't we?
It won't be Yeovil. Are Yeovil out the National League? Are they back in the Football League, are they? Graham Cockrell, backroom staff not performed. Mark needs the right people behind him, and they are not. Wayne Litwood, Coventry could lose their first 9 games in a row, and a section of our fan base will say, not to worry, wait till after 10 games, then judge.
I like that.
Stick with Robbins, or it will be back to League Two. If it's back to League Two, it's because of what's going on behind him. It won't be the managers.
Yeah, it's not the manager, Finn. We're saying it's not the manager, mate, honest.
We've brought players for too much money and there's nowhere we're going to make a profit. Any of them, I feel, was so spineless and no personality. I've said this. We were buying for nothing or cheap. We bought Gyökeres for 750, was it? We got all those millions for him. We Hamer, $1.5 million. Hamer was the most we spent on a player for 20 years or something ridiculous.
Yeah, easily.
Matt Dixon, the scout responsible for Mason Clark and Kitchen wants shooting. That's 9 million worth of talent down the toilet. Glenn, feels like a few weeks could be another Cov City sliding door moment. Back or sack Robbins, and the club could go one of two ways.
Yeah.
Miles is right. Oh, hold on. That's two. You're winning the stakes on the who's right tonight. Miles is right. We've lost the killer instinct in our games.
We have. We've lost that.
Yeah. Makes you wonder if we actually underachieved, daft as it sounds when we had Vic, Hamer and O'Hare, 3 of the best players in the league. I think we have missed our chance. The problem was O'Hare's ACL. Yeah. I always said those 6 games he played, we won 4, drew 1, and the game we lost, he got injured at Sheffield United after Vic had missed a penalty. You know, he made it with the 3 of them together. It was brilliant. Assassins Unite. Well said, Miles. Oh, flipping out. 3. Well said, Miles. New players is in most of which has been on the bench most of the time. That's right.
Yeah.
Their practice sessions look a bit too comfortable, friendly, happy. That's from Finn. I've stopped watching all those unseen things and what goes on at the training ground. I'm not. Yeah.
They look a bit corny, don't they now?
Yeah. I'm not interested in that. I just want to see what happens on the Saturday. I'm not bothered about, videos that might go viral and TikToks and stuff like that. Get back to if we're winning games. If we won 6 in a row, great, but we haven't. You know what I mean? I don't want to see it.
What do you think, Luke? Do you think they're looking a bit corny?
Yeah, and Finn has a point. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's too soft now. It's almost like it's more PR. Let's look what we're doing and stuff like that. And these are professional footballers. They're there to do a job. They're paid to do a job. And that wages comes from, majority of it, the fans, us, who are paying to go there and watch them. So on that training pitch. So I remember when I used to play football as a kid, you just get battered. The coaches are telling you to do this, get better, better. It's harsh. There's got to be a bit of time for joviality and stuff like that. But maybe that's all we're seeing. They're showing the jovial side of it. Maybe we're not seeing all of the videos, but all of the footage. But they need to be a bit harder on them. They need to come out. They need to have that hunger. They need to have that fear. They need to have that fear of going back in the dressing room at half time or back in the dressing room at full time. That's what drives them. But now it's changed. Football's changed a lot. Players can alter a manager's position. They can just turn up and go, we'll just play loosely and we'll do this and we'll make mistakes purposely. Manager's gone. But then the new manager is not the answer. And it's just a sliding, slippery slope.
Yeah, like Glenn said, it could be a slippery slope. You could go one way or the other. And we don't want that again, do we? What was it? 11 managers, 12 managers in 10 years? It was something flipping stupid, weren't it? Really was.
Nick R. King made himself director of football. The result is transfer driven by ego, not by sense. No new holding midfield to cover Sheaf. No new right back to cover Milan. No new genuine right winger. If you listen to the players and MR pre-season, this is from Lee Dunn, they said we're working on new philosophy. That's what I meant by bedding in. Okay.
Cool. Like it.
Graham Cockrell, Alex Ferguson put young players on when the first team could not win to see the difference. It saved his bacon. Eccles is the only academy player who's a regular under Robbins, nearly 8 years in charge. Ralph Wiggins are mostly good players, but not putting in the effort at the moment. Is it something gone wrong behind the scenes?
Got to be.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
AD was liked by the players, but allegedly not by the new performance director. It's from Nick R.
Yeah, because he's old school. That's why.
Yeah, old school. Gotta have old school.
Well,
bucket of water. None of this spray. Get an ice cold bucket of water out there. They'll soon be up on their feet.
No, especially if it was around somebody's knackers first.
Exactly.
I don't know what this performance director does. I mean, it just sounds very impressive, but it's probably not. We're probably all sit in a classroom talking about their feelings and stuff. But AD is not from that generation. AD is from the Cloughy generation. You get out there and you play. You injured. Oh, right, okay, let's fix it. And you get back out. I just don't think all these things, performance and sleep therapists, it's all this modern way of playing football, and I don't think it's working. We don't have the team for it to work. We don't have a massive team.
I reckon they've all been up since Wednesday night. As soon as they got home, they left their PlayStations on, downloading FC25, and they've been playing FC25 for 24 hours a day for 2 days. And they've gone in on Saturday absolutely shattered from playing FC25.
I hope they're playing better on FC25 than they did on Saturday.
I will say though, the ground looks great in FC25.
Oh yeah,
I've got to get it.
No, it looks good. It does look good.
I'm going to put me in the team. James Linford, I'm one of the most positive fans you meet, but we have not recruited right at all. Our squad is so unbalanced, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
James Hollyoak, Lee Dan, what's the new philosophy? Nothing has changed from the end of last season, which is true. That I don't feel like we've got a game plan anymore. I don't understand. Yeah. Mick Danforth, exactly. The training videos that I've seen, it's all kickball or stupid games that are unrelated to football. Finn, Mick Danforth, correct. All a laugh. They need to practice 100% on finishing. Mark Patman, get the hungry subs on who haven't played yet. At least they might try harder than the current players.
Yeah.
Ian Courts, young kids play without fear. If they're good enough to play them?
Yep.
They are, and they are good enough to play.
They're hungry.
Yep. James Linford, personally, I feel our strikers need to put ourselves around more and start bullying defenders.
Yeah, we're getting bullied quite a bit, aren't we?
Yeah.
West Sky Blue, we can only perform with the players we've got. For me, some of them ain't up to it. Allen, EMC, De Silva are not top-end championship quality. Not sure what's up with Wright either. Looks slow and unbothered. Sims has gone back to how he was at the start of last season, and we need a leader.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely need a leader.
Nick, I agree with the kids. Should be used. Darsh, Abiku, Andrews, Howley, Burrows, all could have been given first team action. I don't understand that. I just do not understand why they keep going out on loan all the time. Yeah.
And the one player you thought would go out on loan was Tavares.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah. I like Graham's. He's got 2 messages here.
Graham Cockrell, could the fans ask for Amy Vibash? Hey, that sounds like something else, a different channel that is. And Sonika could spell his what? Graham, try again, please.
Sorry. Can we ask for Adi Vibash back? I think, and Sakamoto to play.
Oh my. Right, Gibbo, evening. I think it's time to come to terms that our players are not good as we thought. Top 6 was possibly a possibility. Top 2 was a fallacy, as already proven after just 6 games. So disappointing.
Yeah, very disappointing.
I just feel what's happened. Sorry, Wayne Vaughan, you're sounding like passionate fans. Nothing wrong with that. Surprised you can't hear me through the screen. I just feel when I've said it before, it's like if you told your kids at Christmas you're going to get the best game console ever, then you open the box and it's an Atari from 1980, you're going to be a bit cheesed off, aren't you?
Yeah.
And go, don't worry, it will improve over time.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like we've been told we're going to get something fantastic and that's what we're working to. And we've not brought the players in to really lift the team forward. These are okay players, but I don't see any who's going to really get us up the table. Keith Ray, love this team, but this season it's like a throwback to 1970s. I worry we're going to get battered every game. Sad thing is, I'll keep buying the shirts. I know he does.
Yeah, same.
I've got.
Keith's in Canada. What time is it in Canada?
About 8 hours. It's about 8 hours behind, 7-8 hours.
Is it? Okay.
I've got a stack of his programs here that keep coming to my house. That I have to. I'll pass them over to him in November. James Hollyoak, if you listen to MR and Players pre-season, they spoke of a new philosophy of playing. Mick Davenport, what's happened to all these fans forums that used to have with the club? Has King done one yet? Well, apparently there's one on. Oh yes, I see what you mean. I don't know. That's the answer to that. West Sky Blue. Also, I'm not a fan of Dovin. He looks nervous every time the ball comes towards him. Why can't we sign a 6'7" goalkeeper?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? They're getting smaller. They're all getting smaller.
You know what I mean? I just
when you look at Arsenal's keeper today, Ray, against Haaland. Haaland just towers above him, man.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Raya today was.
He was great. He was very good. Yeah. Why couldn't we?
I was picked to go in goal because I was the tallest one out of the team.
That wasn't the reason. That wasn't the reason why you went in goal, Luke. You all know why you went in goal.
I was a shot stopper.
Right, we've got a couple more minutes. We've got a couple more minutes before we wrap it up for the night. So let's quickly get through these last comments.
Harry74, I think contractually obliged players is close to the truth. Wright just doesn't have the right attitude, but keeps being picked. Only answer is he contractually obliged to play every game? Aranea, since Robbins has tried tempering expectations by walking back the pre-season hype of onwards and upwards coming from the club, does this season not count as one of the 5 years in Doug's PL package? Well, it does. This is the second season. James Linford, our defence is so poor, I'm afraid it's not top 6 quality at all. Mark Cunningham, Luke, have Claudio's seat as he sits in the box now eating floor sandwiches. I'll tell you what, I was back in block 18. It don't look any better in block 18, I tell you. And join Claudio would take you into one of his posh boxes, Luke.
No, I'm all right. I'm all right in this terraces.
Brian Kavanagh, I can't believe the players are holding on to the ball and not passing.
No, mate.
Is it time for Mike Ashley to buy us? Thoughts?
I'm not commenting on that one.
Yes, is my answer.
Yes.
There you go. Yes. I've got no problems with that at all.
You never know.
Fans were just too. There were Newcastle fans there. They just thought that they were going to be top, like second or first place under him, and they weren't. But I'd take where he took Newcastle right now.
Let's just say it could be sooner than you think.
But Newcastle haven't won a domestic trophy since 1955, so they've had loads of owners. You know, he wasn't the worst at all.
No.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't won it since the Saudis took over either.
Well, yeah, there's only so much they can do because of the money constraints. Coventry, I'm worried with the way things are. Mark Robins might walk. I don't think he'll walk because of the financial part of it. Mick Davenport, I think this could be a downward spiral next year for us. If we're still in the Championship, season ticket sales will fall dramatically. West Sky Blue, in your opinion, what will happen first? MR leaves or get sacked?
If it happens.
He won't leave. He will get sacked, but he ain't going to leave because he won't, like Claudio and Lucas said, he won't get any compensation if he just walks.
Or will Mike Ashley take over before and keep him?
We'll have to wait. We'll have to watch this space, won't we?
I mean, the thing is, with Doug King, normally, because he hasn't really got the background in football, he hasn't got the clout to come in with a team straight away and go, right, I'm bringing in new management, new coaching. I've got, I don't know, the equivalent of the best manager in Europe coming with me. He hasn't got that clout, has he?
No.
You see? And also, sorry, I'll come back to something in a minute. Trevor Merriman, AD was verbal and passionate on the sidelines. He was brilliant wingman, what we need now. Also, I keep getting told he got rid of the debt. No one really knows what the debt was, how he's got rid of it. I don't understand this. I can't believe for 1 minute he handed over £50 million or whatever it was to Sisu, when initially it was only 85% share and then it became the whole share. I don't understand that. So to me, it's definitely a debt equity swap thing. It has to be. I can't believe for 1 minute it's just because why give him 50? You know, if that's the case, that's a big gamble when he's not the richest man in the world.
Yeah.
So the debt has been moved and probably being paid for over time. So is this 5 year plan related to the debt as well? I don't know. These are questions I want to know, but no one seems to. CWR won't ask it, basically. No. And I was reminded by a friend of mine that I asked him a question in the forum, which I forgot about, when I said, would you be prepared to have somebody come in financially? You know, I mean, I was referring to Mike Ashley, basically, to boost the funds, basically. And the guy said, don't you remember? He started waffling on and didn't really answer your question at all. I thought, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You know, so there's something weird about the whole takeover, really, on reflection now. All right, James Linford, I don't want him to go at all, but if Mark gets sacked or leaves, what do you get there? Who do you get in? Well, yeah. If MR leaves, we should go for Ian Evett. Trevor Merriman, Claudio, did Block 18 give you a round of applause for your report to common people? No. I did have a friend of mine, Mick Kerry, come over to me because when are you going to get me in there? That's the first thing he said.
Hold on, Claudio. I do believe that Miles has been in that box as well.
Yeah,
he's been in 4 times already. I've only been in once.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so yeah.
AD ain't going to happen, is it? AD as manager. Paul Thompson, my season tickets in the South Stand, but to be honest, I find it easier for the bars and toilets.
Paul, you must be going after 28 minutes in the first half to get a beer. Because trust me, I've been down on 32 minutes and there's a massive queue.
Wayne Littlewood, Claudia, how was Block 18? Did it feel like being back in the? Did it feel like being back in the slums with this gentle folk? No, I loved it actually. The good thing about it is you can really let your hair down, can't you? And swear a bit more.
Yeah.
Mark Patman, checkmate. I was on about the toilets.
Yeah.
Warren, our football is that good. You're talking about.
Oh, you gotta love Wayne.
Ian Plumlock, that brick wall is the steward's cloakroom, Miles. Oh.
Don't care. Knock a bloody hole in it.
Ian McGovern, surely Dobbin should be telling the defence if they're out of position. We look far stronger with Wilson, who can manage defence better.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier. Yeah,
More
more vocal, isn't he? More vocal.
Claudio's been on Grindr too long. It was a mistake. It's a bit like that sketch with Williams and Matt Lucas, isn't it? When the politician comes out, and I'd just like to say I fell over in the cubicle.
Wearing a safety helmet and building a page.
Yes. Emma, following on from Miles' comment about knocking the wall down at the end of the concourse under Singer's Corner, you can't. The tunnel to car park B is in the way. Oh.
Wow, sod the tunnel. I want my beer at half time.
Graham Cockrell, I think MR might be looking for a job elsewhere if he thinks he's not getting the right back in from King with his current coaching staff, who are poor. Ralph Wiggins, no, he did that because they all played so well against Spurs. It's obviously to do with picking the same team.
Yeah.
Sims was superb against Watford. Why was he on the bench? That's a good point. It is a good point.
Yeah,
it is a good point. Definitely. Right, listen, we're going to have to call it a day, guys. We've gone way over 2 hours. And there's even more and more comments coming in.
I know.
We could go on all night. We really could, and we really appreciate all the comments, but I'm afraid we are going to have to call it a night there, guys. We do really appreciate all the comments. It's been absolutely fantastic. We thought the night would be like this. And we just hope that things can turn it around, and we can all hopefully have a big smiley face after the game against Leeds on Saturday. And hopefully we can put in a performance that will kickstart the season, and we can go on and just push it for the rest of the season. Before we go, don't forget, if you need coach travel for Leeds this weekend, we got ccfctravel.co.uk. Head over to their website. They've got some coaches available still, some extra seats available. So if you want to get yourselves up to Leeds and you want to go on the coach, please head over to that website. Also, if you want parking, you can get your parking via the same website as well. And you can get there for the home tickets as well for your parking. And our next home game will be a week Tuesday, won't it? I think it's Blackburn, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that, 2 home games again. And then we've got Sheffield Wednesday, and I'm DJing at Dillon's all day at Dillon's. Oh, my God, that's going to be a marathon. I'm going to run out of tracks to play, I think, if I'm going to be there all day. That's going to be one hell of a...
Have we mentioned coach travel to Leeds yet?
Yeah, I've just done it. Weren't you watching?
I was not. Oh, sorry, did you?
I'll say it again for Claudio, who's getting old. Coach travel provided for Leeds. ccfctravel.co.uk. It shows how much attention he's been paying to me, doesn't it?
Sorry,
unbelievable.
I was going through all the comments, that's all, just checking, and I saw one from Ian saying that I just put this on. He put, I told him to say hi to you, Claudia. The first thing I'd said, so I let him off, that's all.
Unbelievable, that is. That is just, that's shocking. Hey, Luke, can you believe that? That's terrible.
So about tickets for Leeds.
And you can get parking as well. So, sort it out. Thank you so much for everyone. Have you talked about the coach trouble yet? Hold on. I'll just put it up. Hold on. So if you want coach travel, you can have coach travel.
And somewhere for you to park your car.
So you can have mentioned parking yet as well.
Right, brilliant. So it'll be the next thing now for the next 6 months.
I know. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, please. It would be much appreciated. The more subscribers we get, the better it will be So please head over to our YouTube channel. You can see the full interview with Dave Body. You can also see some videos from Claudio and Jim Brown's history podcast, which is another one back this week. Claudio, what is it called?
It's based on the fact that we were always voted best program Matchday magazine 3 years in a row, and we've got the guy who wrote the book about the guy who did our best program ever in 1970.
What program is that?
It's a glossy blue thing with loads of images. It's like it was something out of this world compared to the programs you used to get, which was like, higgledy piggledy, just black and white stuff. It was just a really, really good program. It's for those who collect programs, they know which one it is. It's the season we were in Europe, but it was a really good program. And you've got the guy who designed the program. His son's coming on. He actually lives in Kenilworth as well.
Fantastic. That'll be a good show then. So that will be available on Spotify from Wednesday, and it will be available on Sky Blue Fans TV, the video, from Friday. So you'll be able to listen to it first, and then you'll be able to watch it over on our YouTube channel. So please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. Much appreciated. And I'm going to leave you with this comment. I think this is brilliant. Ian Harris, keep the faith, PUSB, Sky Blue Army in Los Angeles. What more could you ask for? Some fans watching all the way from Los Angeles, also Canada and Asia tonight as well, which is fantastic. Brilliant. And France, Ian as well, always comes on from France. So it's great that we are broadcasting around the world. We're just like other big TV stations.
Also, and Ken, you can have your ball back.
I wonder if he's got out of the club alive.
Yeah, probably not.
He's having to give a police statement, isn't he? It's funny.
Oh dear.
Anyway, it all started with.
Look, I know we didn't win at the weekend. We didn't beat Spurs either, but we're going to try and keep smiling, and we'll be back again Thursday night, 7:30. And we'll hopefully have a Leeds guest on and give us the lowdown on their season so far. But Luke, have you enjoyed yourself?
Loved it. Brilliant. Thank you.
Good. Thanks for coming back on, mate. It's been brilliant. I love the Sky Blue headphones as well. I need a pair of those. They're brilliant. Just need some Cov badges on the side now.
Yeah, I'll stick them on.
Yeah, that'll do. How you enjoyed it tonight?
Yeah, I loved it. It's good. It's good to get everyone's feelings and that. We're all frustrated. We all feel we should be doing better, and sometimes you just got to let off a bit of steam, haven't you?
Yeah,
I bought 2 cats because I didn't have anything to kick after games. So
Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow night, Claudio, for our meeting. And we're gonna have a big team meeting tomorrow night. So with some exciting news coming your way very, very soon. But take care, everybody. Thank you so much for your comments. Sorry we couldn't get through them all. Absolutely loads of them. And let's keep the faith. Yeah, let's keep the faith for this badge. And Mark Robbins, he will sort it out. We know he will. We know he can sort it out. And Hadji Wright, if you're watching, sort it out, man. Come on, Hadji Wright. Let's get back to where you were towards the end of last season. Come on, let's get them 20 goals banging in. Play up Sky Blues, everyone. We'll see you Thursday night. Take care and thank you for watching. Sky Blue Army.
Yep, Sky Blues.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.